If you have played NBA 2K in any capacity over the past 24 years, specifically the Play Now mode, then you can probably feel me when I say this. There are players in the game who, for whatever reason, regardless of their overall or what they may have done during their time in the NBA, when it comes to NBA 2K, they're goated. You got guys like the Gerald Greens or Shannon Browns of the world, who in real life, they were serviceable role players, but when it comes to NBA 2K, it was like a prime Vince Carter with that mug. And I'm sure if we go through all the players that we've used, we can agree on a select few who stood above the rest. So in this video, we're going to be inducting 3 players into the inaugural NBA 2K Hall of Fame. Now, for our 2K Hall of Fame, we're going to want to have some type of rules or standard. I mean, we're not trying to be like the NBA Hall of Fame and let just about anybody in. So when it comes to the 2K Hall of Fame, I think we should take a look at a player from a couple of angles. Of course, we're going to want to rate them off their overall in-game niceness, but we also need to take into account their usability. Like, let's take KD, for example. Clearly a 2K god, but let's be honest, he has been on god tier teams pretty much his whole career, to where if you pick the Thunder or the Warriors, he was probably trash anyways. But even so, in my opinion, KD did have some flaws in his 2K game, like that damn hitch he had in his shot back in the day. Lost a lot of money off that hitch. I mean, games. Or even an LBJ. He was always high 90s overalls, even hit 99 a couple of times. But if you used the Heat back in the days, again, you was assumed trash as well. And despite that, LBJ 2K trash, in my opinion. Or let me say 2K overrated. I'm not trying to trigger any of the LeBron James stands out there. But honestly though, as far as 2K goes, he never really could hit the 3-ball reliably, like to where everyone was sagging off of him. And they was usually using his player as a help defender. And once 2K took out that spin dunk keys that everyone's doing with him and Wade back in the day, them teams started to become 2K stale. Nah, bruh. The players that are going into our 2K Hall of Fame were never really on monster teams. And if they was, it was always a usable team that was rated maybe high 80s, low 90s. But of course, if you knew how to work, you could get busy with these dudes against the top rated teams in the game and still drop folks off, of course. And when it comes to these players' overalls, they were never the highest rated player at their position, let alone in the game. But like we said at the top of the video, these dudes got busy when it came to dropping folks off in our favorite basketball sim game. So without any further delays, let's jump right into it with the first player getting inducted into the 2K Hall of Fame, and that's going to be a one Mr. Yao Ming. While I may have beef with his inclusion in the actual NBA Hall of Fame, Yao is without a doubt an NBA 2K Hall of Famer. For during his career in the game, he was a legit cheat code, to the point that if you picked the Rockets, he was trash, because he made the game so easy. In the post, there was literally no one in the game at the time, or currently for that matter, that could stop him. I was even drop stepping Shaq at one point. The only limiting factor most times when it comes to Yao's post game in 2K was that most people just didn't know how to work out of the post back then, just like they don't now. But even if you couldn't work out of the post, Yao was such a beast that he could hit the mid-range, and if you was a demon with your timing, you could hit a 3 as well. And I mean, what most people used him for was the pick and roll or pick and pop, both of which he was goated at. And we have not even mentioned the elephant in the room, the fact that Buddy is 7 foot 6 inches. Pause. So on defense, there's no worries in the paint. And I'm gonna be saying this until I'm blue in the face, but if you pick the Rockets, you were trash. But if you pick the Rockets and you fell into a 2-3 zone, you were super trash. But a lot of people was doing it, as Yao was just that much of a beast in the paint, blocking shots right and left. And obviously every board was his. When it comes to the center position in NBA 2K, Yao is easily the best center in NBA 2K history, and is easily a first ballot 2K Hall of Famer. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, Yao. The next player going into the 2K Hall of Fame has to be J.R. Smith. Man right here, easily one of the OGs when it came to NBA 2K. His overall was never higher than like an 82 back in 2K14, but despite that, I am sure that you, just like me, will always move him into the starting shooting guard role, no matter which squad it was, Nuggets, Knicks, or Cavs. I mean, JR was a 2K player's dream. He slashed to the rim with the fearlessness and grace of a Kobe or MJ, and he was shooting lights out from deep. He literally was the perfect and arguably the best shooting guard in the history of 2K. His one downfall when it comes to NBA 2K was that his defense was pedestrian at best. But even there, he had enough speed and size to stay in front of his mans and contest anything that they put up. And I mean, no one was using JR as a defensive stalwart anyway. A great thing about JR, and what makes him a 2K Hall of Famer for me, is that he's always been on a good team. He started out with the Nuggets with Melo and Chauncey. Then he went to the Knicks, who had Melo, Amari, and another great 2K player, Steve Novocaine Novak. And from there, he went and played with Bron. So I'm sure, like me, you used him and his team in almost every 2K that you played in some type of capacity. I haven't played my team in years because it's ridiculous over there. But back when I did, you already know JR was always a mainstay at my 2 guard. And then we have the 2K MJ, Mr. Rudy Gay himself. from about 2K8 or 9 to 2K18, I don't care what anyone or their mama was saying, Rudy Gay, be it Memphis version or Sacramento Rudy, he was the best player in NBA 2K. Don't believe me? Why do you think everybody recommends Rudy's release? And honestly, I don't know what it was about him neither, because he never had the highest overall in the game. Hell, I don't even know if he passed 90. But if you was running against your boy and y'all did the old-fashioned 3 randoms and a sudden death, and one of those squads was Memphis or Sacramento, you already knew it was GG's, and you was probably asking who got next. Because 2K Rudy was like a mix between LeBron and Kobe. No bull. If you gave him any type of lane, he was yamming it over the best of them. And then you would think, okay, let me play off a bit and see what he got. Nah, buddy, that's a bad idea, because he's draining that. Like, there was no stopping him. The Memphis teams was low-key dog with him, Zebo, Marc Gasol, a young Mike Conley, and Tony Allen was a beast too. The only thing for me with him was that folks could try and help off of him because he couldn't shoot to save his life. And really, he was the only thing stopping Rudy Gay in NBA 2K, because people would help off Tony to double and force you to have to shoot or make a play with Tony. But if he was nice with it, he was running that 2-3 pick and roll and just throwing that lob to Rudy. But firstly, to our Hall of Famers, link me so I can send you your Hall of Fame jackets. And to everyone else, let me know down in the comment section, who do you think is a good candidate for next year's induction into the 2K Hall of Fame? And of course, until we meet on that virtual hardwood, luck out. Peace.